Dinosaurs was a 1950s-style sitcom about a wisecracking family of blue-collar dinosaurs.
Robbie! Charlene! Get your tails in here! This is your father talking!
Which aired from 1991 to 1994, spanning 4 seasons. It tackled a wide variety of socioeconomic and cultural issues throughout its 4-season run, and was a triumph in puppetry, animatronic technology, and intellectual family programming. The Sinclairs, a reference to the real-life oil corporation, but also a vibrant group of prehistoric animatronic puppets, were made up of 6 different familial archetypes. You had Earl.
Let me begin by making a general statement.
The working-class provider.
I am completely incompetent.
And also the dumb dad. Then you had Fran Frances Sinclair, the stay-at-home mom, too good for her husband. You have Ethel Phillips.
Good morning, everyone.
Fran's mom.
Mother, look at you.
She's the older perspective here, and she absolutely hates Earl and wants Fran to divorce him. Then you have Robbie Sinclair, the intelligent rebel who means well, but often messes up like Dad. Charlene Sinclair, a daddy's girl, much smarter than she seems, and quite possibly humanity's last hope.
In fact, he's the last sponge beetle, because all the others were wiped out by the We Say So Corporation.
And last, but certainly not least, Baby Sinclair. Comic relief, naivety, just about the depth of character you would expect from a baby archetype. And spoilers ahead for a now 30-year-old series, the Sinclairs are actually the catalyst of extinction for all living life on Earth. In this video essay, I'm going to be applying 6 theories and/or concepts that deal with media and society to the grim finale of the series. Throughout the whole episode, Earl continuously ignores glaring red flags, resulting in catastrophic ramifications. Despite there being overwhelming evidence that We Say So is complicit in the destruction of natural life, Earl continues to assert that all is okay and that there's nothing to worry about. He truly believes that everything will be okay, even till the end, when it isn't. All he's ever known is the comfort of the We Say So regime, a comfort befitting of his seemingly willful ignorance. And as a consumerist, he makes just about every excuse to defend the company. Just as Plato suggested in his allegory of the cave in the Republic, certain individuals operate solely on the information that they have known all their lives. They're stuck in a cave of sorts, and they're only able to see one thing, only able to see one picture, and towards the climax of the episode, Earl derails his daughter's rightful concerns with We Say So on a live broadcast.
Hey, hold on, hey, wait, I want to say something here.
Daddy,
Huh?
they're interviewing me.
Oh, yeah? Well, it's time for a responsible opposing viewpoint. Progress is good. It's progress that put electricity in the toothbrush. Sure, some sacrifices had to be made along the way.
Great.
A forest here, a few species there.
During this derailment, Earl suggests that because this is just the way things have always been, we shouldn't care about the extinction of the stink bugs, and by extension, anything else.
Like microwave toast.
He also suggests that easy-baked toast is a testament of this belief, and that all these horrible deeds justify the means. So then BP Richfield, Earl's boss at We Say So, goes on to hatch a plan. One that will solve all the issues posed by the poppies, and one that exploits Earl's ignorance. This exploitation is common in a culture that is industrialized. In Jack Lowell's Globalization in Media, The Global Village of Babel, he suggests that the global oligopoly of media thus helps create a passive, apolitical populace that rises from the couch primarily for consumption. We Say So products are easily sold to numbskulls like Earl. This is immediately made clear within the first few seconds of the episode, with Earl's new grill that he didn't even need. Because individuals like Earl are so easily sold on their products, it calls into question the purpose and morality of said products. If idiots like Earl are so easily sold on a product, why not an idea? We Say So is not all too dissimilar to modern Disney. Modern Disney mass manufactures culture, and is considered a transnational multimedia conglomerate.
But he's absolute evil. What?
A problem arises when conglomerates like Disney and We Say So, because their reach is both global and commandeering, begin to dominate the culture sphere. These conglomerates, driven solely by profit, will do just about whatever it takes to get there, At the highest level of these companies, people in leadership roles tend to make decisions based solely on
They're
profit.
always standing in the way of progress. And it's
We see a hyperbolic example of this with Earl's boss at the end of the episode.
The world may be coming to an end. Well, that's a fourth quarter problem. We'll drop a bomb on that bridge when we come to it.
Laughing maniacally and tossing around his stacks of money. For the record, we also see examples of this in real life, with routine massive layoffs in the entertainment industry and other industries alike. Because our system has willed it, big corporations like We Say So are given the reins to drive all living things into the ground. The extinction of all life on Earth is on their hands. And because they hold so much power, dinosaurs like Earl's daughter stand no chance in challenging their status quo. In Robert McChesney's Global Media, Neoliberalism, and Imperialism, he asserts that media giants have had a heavy hand in drafting these laws and regulations, and the public tends to have little or no input, further driving home the inadequacy of challenging said status quo. In a way, Earl is enlightened, because unlike the rest of his family, he, perhaps subconsciously, knows those efforts would be in vain. In Lowell's book, he suggests that the global oligopoly of media encourages a passive apolitical populace that rises from the couch primarily for consumption. This sentiment not only suggests that multimedia conglomerates and neoliberalism are entwined paradoxically, but also perfectly describes Earl's role in the culture industry. In the majority of these episodes, Earl is an antagonist of sorts, in that he is oftentimes wrong or misled, but he's ultimately not a bad guy. He is, by all accounts, a victim of the system, despite his indulging in willful ignorance. He, like many of us, is working a 9-to-5 where he is exploited on a semi-regular basis.
Why is the right thing to do always the one where I have to spend all my money on nothing I get? Why does my life have to be like this?
Well, now, isn't this the choice you made, Polly boy?
He's simply just tired. He doesn't have the time, the will, or the patience to inform himself on these matters. And the best he can do is just unwind, crack open a beer, and believe We Say So has his best interests in mind. After the infamous Stanford prison experiment, Philip Zimbardo suggested that, under the presence of a greater power, all good people are capable of great evil, coining such as the Lucifer effect. Unbeknownst to Earl, his stupidity under the We Say So regime results in his participation in mass extinction.
Mr. Sinclair, isn't the word defoliant just another name for poison?
Poison is such a harsh word. We on the task force prefer to think of it as botanical bye-bye juice.
Under the presence of a greater power, being We Say So, Earl further enables and allows the company to literally poison and bomb the entire planet.
Extreme problems call for extreme solutions. Right, Mr. Task Force Chairman? Yes, sir. Bombs away.
Until nothing is left. You could argue that Earl is simply just ignorant, but by the end of the episode, it's made clear that he realizes what his actions cost him.
It's so easy to take nature for granted because it's always there. And technology is so bright and shiny and new.
We understand, sweetheart.
Understand what?
Everything. Earl Sinclair, known idiot, is assigned to a task force, notably one put together by his boss, of which its purpose is to quote-unquote solve the overgrowth of cider poppies. Like Bostrom posits with his black ball analogy, humanity may eventually pull out a black ball from a jar of gray and white balls. The white balls represent technologies and or inventions that are a net positive, the gray represent technologies or inventions that are morally ambiguous, and the black ball represents a technology or invention that spells the end of humanity. Their defoliant, and the subsequent bombing of the planet, causes the extinction of all plant life on Earth. This is a death sentence to everyone on the planet, as Robbie points out. It is all but too reminiscent of what Bostrom proposes will happen to us.
I'm sure it'll all work out okay. After all, dinosaurs have been on this earth for 150 million years. It's not like we're going to just disappear.
We Say So, a titan of the culture industry in Dinosaurs, is so corrupt, so evil, so cruel. In a system that rewards a lack of morality, characters like Earl's boss are constantly stepping on those beneath them. They perpetuate and participate in a system that exploits the vulnerable and rewards the wealthy. But how did we do this? How were we able to drink up the sea? Who gave us the sponge to wipe away the entire horizon? What were we doing when we unchained this earth from its sun? Where is it moving to now? Where are we moving to? Away from all suns? Are we not continually falling? And backwards, sidewards, forwards, in all directions? Is there still an up and down? Aren't we straying as though through an infinite nothing? Isn't empty space breathing at us? Hasn't it gotten colder? Isn't night and more night coming? Again and again? In an interview for Vulture, series co-creator Michael Jacobs had this to say on the finale of the show. If the show has any value at all, it is young people have to understand that extinction is a possibility, so that they can remind their parents that if they are not taking care of the world for themselves, they should do it for the children.
And taking a look at the long-range forecast, continued snow, darkness, and extreme cold. This is Howard Handupme. Good night.